along with the next slide. When we started out and set up our goals, our big push in the beginning was similarities and differences, and that is the goal that we thought we would work on for an entire year. As we started in with that, you'll see buildings did building-wide kickoffs. We did a lot of posting of the work that students were doing, and as we worked through that year, we found and we learned and grew too as a team and found, well, you don't want to pick one strategy and say, this is the research-based strategy that will improve everything. We knew that we needed to emphasize there are many strategies, and you need to learn how to pick and choose the ones that fit your students' needs and fit the instructional content with which you're working. So we did have this huge push in the beginning for similarities and differences, and then when we brought in our book study, we spent approximately a half of a year, I will say, on the individual strategy and really implementing that for a few months. We've blogged about that with teachers. There have been follow-up things that we've done in staff meetings and department meetings that have supported that implementation and professional growth. And it has all flowed very naturally, which is the hugest level of excitement for us. Teachers have begun to take hold of the process, and they learn things. Can I present this? For example, the foldables that you're looking at, that was someone coming from another building into a staff meeting and showing how to do that. Those foldables have made their way all the way to the high school with chemistry and science lessons, and it's phenomenal to see that happening at a level where before it was predominantly lecture and no hands-on activities at all. So that has been the excitement of starting with those simple Venn diagrams that everyone used anyways, and move through that process of, okay, now, yes, similarities and differences are great, but we need to move into the other strategies also.
Then we continue to spiral that in. So when you go and do your walkthroughs, so you want to see.
When we do our walkthroughs, what we've done as a team walking through is say, we're only going to expect to see or mark down the things that we've given people professional development on. So there are several strategies we haven't gotten to yet. So if we see it, great. If not, no big deal. But our focus as part of the professional development recently has been, okay, we have enough walks in the high school to really sit down and look at some data, and they're able to look at that, and they take into consideration the fact that there are a couple of strategies they have not given professional development on. Our job is support. So we're not going to ding you for something we haven't talked about as a district or had some expectations about. So that's kind of been another way we support. Another thing I'm thinking about with similarities and differences is that at the beginning, kind of when that train gets moving and people just start jumping on board and it just goes faster and faster, and part of the DLT's job had become to pull people back a little bit and remind them what the goals are and remind them of the focus, because people get really creative and they go over the top, and you want to remind them, okay, but our goal is about students using these in the classroom independently, so let's keep that in mind when we're planning assemblies based around this kind of stuff. And our job has really been to just kind of help monitor and help them kind of rein their excitement in and control it and keep it going in the right direction, so they're not all off on tangents every which way and doing all kinds of different things. We really try to bring them back in focus, and that's another valued piece of that kind of monthly meeting we have.